Hey everyone, Rod Sahu here, realtor in Central Texas, back with another model home walkthrough. Today we're going through the Kessler plan with MeritageHomes. This plan is over 3,000 square feet. It's a 5-bedroom with 3 full bathrooms, has a 2-car garage, and this is an affordable 2-story plan where if you're trying to maximize square footage without breaking the budget, then this is a great option for you, and is a floor plan that opens up really well. As you saw there, open to the 2nd story when you first walk in, and then walking right out to the main living area. We have a kitchen, dining, living room, all combined in one area, with the living and dining room, as you see there, with a much higher ceiling, where they have a pitch ceiling, actually goes all the way up to the 2nd story. And on that 2nd story, we're going to see a game room with a few bedrooms up there. But take a look at the raised ceiling height, how it slopes all the way up. You don't see that a whole lot at this price point. And when I say this price point, I don't want to give prices verbally because this can change over time. And this floor plan is built in many different communities where the price point fluctuates. But I would call this more of around the median home price in the city that you're building in. And that tends to be much more affordable than other plans that are at this same square footage. Now, going back to the front of the home, we will work our way back. We do have 2 bedrooms down. So this is the spare bedroom that's at the front of the home. There's a full bathroom off of this. Of course, they have it staged as a study because for a lot of people that are looking to work from home, they usually decide to use this as a study. Or if you need the guest bedroom, there would be probably one of the bedrooms upstairs to utilize that as a study. Now, off of this bedroom, again, is that full bathroom. And while we go through this, one thing I want to mention, the upgrades from a design standpoint that were chosen in here are not the highest end. Meritage is a little bit more of a higher volume builder, especially in areas like around Austin, where the goal is to get a lot of square footage, again, for the price point. So instead of putting up lavish upgrades in a model home, they decided to do something that would be a little bit more typical of what you would see for your average homeowner and for a lot of their inventory homes. So that would be the flooring, the tile, the cabinets. Now there could be some model home touches in there, and I'll try to call those out as we come across them. But if you're a little bit underwhelmed, just keep that in mind. They're not trying to overdo it with the upgrades, which a lot of model homes do. And of course, in that area, you had the laundry, which is opposite of the kitchen and kind of private in its own area. So if you have the laundry running, hopefully you're not hearing that too much throughout the house. And then here is that kitchen area. And this is what I meant by the upgrades while we look at the pantry. And when we come back out, you're going to see like gray cabinets with a subway backsplash tile. I've seen that mixed up where they might do white cabinets and some gray somewhere else. And usually a lot of the inventory homes have a lot of whites and grays, some sort of neutral color, so that you can come in and add furniture to the area and really add some color if that's what you want. But that's what I'm seeing in a lot of these inventory homes. Moving along to the dining room and living room area. First off, I like the size of this dining room. You're seeing an 8-seater table there. It's pretty substantial. And then I like how it's combined with the living and the kitchen, and all the windows are on the back wall. So if you can imagine living in this home, you probably spend a lot of time in your living room, dining, kitchen, this one combined room. And it's great when you can back up to greenery like you see here, and all those windows are located, again, on the back of the home, where you're going to connected with rooms you're going to be spending quite a bit of time in. So let's head back there. I'm going to show you this backyard patio. And as you can tell, amazing view off the back here where there's a slight drop off on this lot. It's probably why they put the model home here, because they knew they were going to get this view and backing up the greenery. And look, even though this view is for this lot specifically, it is possible in areas like this. We're in the Deerbrook community in Leander, Texas. Leander is a fast-growing suburb in the northwest corridor of Austin. It has great greenery, topography, as you can tell here, where you can have lots that have some drop-offs, some views. And then I think most importantly, Leander has 2 major developments that are coming to this area. If you look up Leander Springs and Leander Northline, you'll find that these are massive mixed-use developments. They're being built very close by to communities like this, Deerbrook, other neighborhoods in Leander, even South Liberty Hill, West Georgetown are very close to these major developments. And so I think it's really exciting, especially when you're trying to buy in a market that seems very volatile. I always say bet where the smart money's betting, right? So if they're looking at these areas for massive developments, huge projects, I think it makes sense to explore opportunities that are around those areas. Getting back to the floor plan, this is the owner's suite. The ceiling does tray upwards. That isn't always the case in every home. So just like with anything, cover all upgrades before you buy anything, or better stated, hire a realtor that can go through a lot that you see in the model home and ask questions to make sure you understand what you're buying before you do. And then of course the owner's bathroom here, I have to say with the tile, with that white grout, I'm just thinking, if they just pick a grout that blends a little bit more in the tile, it wouldn't stand out as much. And that's what I usually find is the case at design studios, is unless you're trying to make a statement with the grout color, like do a black tile with like a white grout to make things really pop and provide that contrast, usually makes sense to blend that in together. Just one of those things that really bothers me when I see it, so I kind of have to call it out. Here is the owner's closet. So there's one owner's closet, and then there's a lot of square footage you'll see here on the second story, where the game room is massive. Again, a few bedrooms up there. And I only mention that because, yes, this closet for a 3,000 square foot home feels a little bit tighter than other closets I've seen at the similar square footage. But just like with many homes, there's a give and take in different areas. So they're taking, I think, square footage from here, perhaps the owner's bathroom a little bit, and then I think they're putting that in other areas. So that's why when looking at floor plans, I don't think it makes sense to just follow a square footage number and say that's what I want. I think you should use that as a guide and then try to explore, well, where do you value that square footage? What are the spaces you spend a lot of time in? What's most important to you? And those are the types of questions I'm asking myself anytime I work with clients, is how important is their need that they just mentioned? How significant is it? And that seems to change as people look through homes once they realize how much they value a space. And that could be the game room. So if you're somebody who really likes a large game room area, you don't want it open into the living room, you want that sound contained on the second story, this could be a good floor plan for you. Now, I will say the staging's a little bit odd here, where they have the couch kind of in the middle of the room. I'm not sure what they were doing there. And by the way, that's just a spray foam insulation that they're displaying there. But putting a desk right behind the couch, I don't know if that's really needed. They could have put it out to that dresser area, done a much bigger couch here. I actually think it makes the game room feel smaller with the staging that they did here. But I think you could put like a wraparound couch in the back there. Regardless, it's still a substantial space, and as you can tell, still open to the second story in the foyer area. And that's where putting a chandelier there I think could work. You just have to make sure that it's blocked with the builders. So most builders won't put a chandelier there because most people want to pick their chandelier anyway, but you do need to make sure it's blocked so it can hold the weight of any chandelier you want to put into your entrance. And then this is one of the 3 bedrooms that are upstairs. And while we head over to the other 2 bedrooms and the full bathroom actually before those, I want to take this time to mention with Meritage, a lot of people ask me, well, what's a good builder? Is Meritage a good builder? And I really just don't think it's a good question to ask, because it's all relative, right? Who are we comparing it to? Is it Meritage versus Tri-Point in an area like East Round Rock? Is it Meritage versus another high volume builder in Hutto, Texas? Are we looking at Liberty Hill, where they just opened up another new community and have a couple communities there? It's all relative to who you're comparing it to. What I would just say, generally speaking, about Meritage is they tend to be a little bit more higher volume. So just like I mentioned earlier in the video, your dollar tends to go much farther with them compared to other builders, but you may not get all the bells and whistles like you do with other builders. For example, another builder might have a lot of open railing in this plan, where everything's much more open rather than the half wall, like the game room would be open to the living room, or there would be railing when you first walk in and look up rather than a half wall. People may not know railing can cost thousands and thousands of dollars to open up that space rather than putting in drywall. Another factor would be design upgrades. So you might find with a lot of other builders that are more expensive, you just get more in options, period. And with a lot of build from scratch options, or what we call to be built in the business, coming back where you can pick your lot, pick your plan, and pick a lot of your options, that could be something that's a little bit more attractive for you. The point is, you have to understand the pros and cons of each builder in each location and what you're comparing that builder to, and then try to determine if this plan makes sense for you or if you should strongly consider exploring other options. And so if that's you and you're still trying to figure out what other options are out there, reach out to me. My information's in the description of this video. If I can't help you and your criteria makes sense for one of my realtor partners, I'm happy to connect you with them. And then if you want to see another model home walkthrough, click on the thumbnail that's appeared on your screen. And to support the channel, like the video, subscribe to the channel for more model home walkthroughs like this. And as always, hope this helps. Take care, everyone.